Welcome back, Torah Anytime viewers and everyone around the world. In the first two shiurim, we established that taking care of your health is not only sensible, it's actually a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah that Chazal, the rabbis of the Talmud, told us that we should take with more seriousness and more care than even keeping kosher. And that there's many, many Gedolei Torah, great Jews of the Torah, Rebbeim, rabbis, Rebbitzins, who have and still do take this mitzvah very seriously. And if they can do it, so can we. The problem we face is that changing any habit is very, very difficult. What I mean is a sustained change. How do you do that? Some people will change their health habits, of course, out of fear. When the doctor tells them, if you don't quit smoking, or you don't start exercising, maybe lose a little weight, or change your eating habits, you may die before your time. For some people, that fear causes them to take change very seriously. I don't love that kind of motivation. I would rather change out of a positive message than a scary one. And fortunately, we have such a message right from the Torah. And that's what I'd like to share with you today. First of all, just imagine, and this is what the rabbis suggest we do. I'll use a modern analogy. Just imagine a friend gave you a shiny new Rolls Royce, like a beautiful car. You come home one day and it's parked outside your house with a giant ribbon around it. And it has a card on it with your name on it. And you open up this card and it says, "Dear neighbor, you know, you're such a great neighbor. I really appreciate you. So I bought you this car as a sign of my appreciation." And not only that, but enclosed is a prepaid credit card that's going to cover all gas, maintenance expenses. Don't worry about that. Oh, by the way, I put you on my insurance as well. So just enjoy your car. Now, in such a scenario, would you do anything less than keep the best care of that car? Would you ever consider putting lower than the top grade fuel in that car? And let's make it even more interesting. Let's make it the only car you'll ever own. Your body is more precious than the most complex, amazing machine ever dreamed up by any human being. And if we really appreciate what a gift it is, that would motivate you to take better care of it. Especially considering this is the only body you're ever going to have, at least in this lifetime. And who knows if you'll have another lifetime. This is what Chazal, the rabbis, have told us to do to motivate us. How do I know this? I know this from the Midrash, in Vayikra Rabbah. It says a story about Hillel, the great Hillel. This is the Hillel that we quote, we eat a sandwich at the Pesach Seder. The great Tana Hillel. Once when Hillel Hazaken, Hillel the elder, was taking leave of his students, he continued with them, but he was going in a direction he didn't normally go. And they said to him, "Rebbe, where are you going?" And he replied, "To do a mitzvah." And they said, "What mitzvah?" He said, "To go bathe in the bathhouse." "Is that a mitzvah?" they asked. He said, "Yes, it's a mitzvah. See how the statue of a king, these Romans, what they set up in the theaters and arenas, is scrubbed and kept clean, and they guard it and they feed it food, and it's even elevated with the VIPs of the kingdom. All the more so I, who was created, B'Tselem Elokim, I was created in God's image, should I care for my body?" Caring for your body is a sign of appreciation for the gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you. Rambam, on this theme, makes a philosophical point from Moreh Nevuchim, the Guide for the Perplexed, third part, Chelek Gimel, chapter Chaf Zayin 27. Man has two perfections. A first perfection, which is the perfection of the body, and an ultimate perfection, which is the perfection of the soul. The first perfection consists in being healthy and in the very best bodily state. Once the first perfection has been achieved, it is possible to achieve the ultimate, which is indubitably more noble and is the only cause of permanent preservation. So, to achieve your full spiritual potential, says Rambam, you need to take care of your body. Your body's a precious gift. And Rav Yisroel Salanter wrote on this theme, commenting on a line in Chovos Levavos. Chovos Levavos says that Avos Hashem, loving your Creator, is achieved by focusing on His chesed that He does for us. So which chesed is Chovos Levavos referring to? Says Rav Salanter, look, there's lots of cheseds that God does for us, right? He gives us beautiful world, sky, beautiful stars and planets and sunshine and food to eat. He gives us air to breathe and animals and ecosystems to appreciate and marvel at. He gives us the wind and the rain. He gives us our families. He gives us our society. He gives all kinds of gifts. But what's the chesed, says Rav Salanter, that is going to teach you Avos Hashem if you focus on it? Appreciating your body. He says this in Or Yisrael, Chokve Or 9, if you want to find it. It's fascinating that he says that. We should focus on our body. So I'd like to pause for a moment and take the cue from Rav Yisroel Salanter and the Rambam and Hillel Hazakin, and let's pause and appreciate one aspect of our amazing body. This amazing body that is more precious than any car ever built or that ever will be built. Well, I'm going to focus today on the heaviest organ in the body. It's called in Hebrew the kaved, the heavy one, the liver. Your liver is a chemical factory that is responsible for over 500 chemical reactions. At any given moment, even right now, 10% of your blood is in your liver. And your liver is processing and storing chemicals, sometimes eliminating them, and other times just supplying them to the rest of the body. Here's some examples of chemical reactions that your liver does for you right now. Fat metabolism, converting fat into energy. Carbohydrate metabolism, converting excess glucose into glycogen for storage, and then back into glucose again when needed. Glucose is the energy your body runs on, your brain runs on. Your liver is responsible for making sure you have glucose when you need it. Protein metabolism. It converts protein and fat into energy. This is the basis of a low-carb diet, because if you don't have enough carbs, your liver will then find energy from other things, including protein. It's a pharmacy. It stores vitamins and minerals and releases them as needed to the rest of the body. And it's a filter. It absorbs and filters out toxins from the blood and neutralizes them before expelling them. It's an incredible thing. It's happening inside of you, and it's the only organ, by the way, that if you lose part of it, it'll regenerate itself. It can grow back. It's fascinating. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's many more things we could say, but I'd like to quote the wonderful Rabbi Jonathan Rietti, who also is here on Torah Anytime, and I recommend you find him if you haven't already. This is Rabbi Rietti speaking. Take every classic of fiction, from Joseph Conrad, Jane Austen, Agatha Christie, Shakespeare, and Spielberg, yes, and even Harry Potter, combined. Then compress all the excitement of their fictional classics into one period of 24 hours. It will not come anywhere close to the excitement you would experience were you to spend the same 24 hours traveling through the human body, its veins and nerves, the liver, the heart, kidneys and lungs. The sight of immeasurable perfection and harmony in the human body is, quote, enough to steal all the luster from fiction, unquote. This is our challenge. This is the first step towards fulfilling the mitzvah of Shmiras Haguf, of guarding your health, is appreciating the gift of the body. It's hard to do. It's easy to do when I'm, sharing with you these wonderful facts and these wonderful quotes, but how do we sustain that? Fortunately, Chazal, the rabbis, 2,400 years ago, in their insight to human nature, understood this challenge, and they gave us a list of meditations, if you will. We call them brachas, blessings. They are meditative moments to contemplate and appreciate many things in the world, but including the human body. As you know, we have a bracha every morning to say thank you for my eyes, pokeach ivrim. We have a bracha every morning to say thank you for my ability to stand, zokef kefufim, and for the ability to walk, and for strength, right? Hanosin yayif koach, he gives the weak's strength to the weak, to the weary. So I wonder how many people listening to this shiur can say, yes, every morning, without fail, I say those brachas, and I really think about what they're saying, I really appreciate my eyes. I really appreciate my ability to stand or to walk or my strength. Or how about the one that we say multiple times a day, Asher Yatzar, which is said after you go to the bathroom. But look at the words. It's about how the body is full of different tubes and fluids, and somehow I can hold them in and I can let them out. I mean, the truth is we're 2/3 water, but the water doesn't come out normally. If we're in good health, I can hold it in, I can let it out, and not only that, but it filters out the bad stuff. And I just put everything. Imagine the car the Rolls Royce. You just had one hole. You put everything in that hole, one fluid in that hole, and the car somehow knows that, oh, the gasoline goes there, and the oil goes there, and the windshield wiper fluid goes there. That's what your body's like. You just put all this stuff in your mouth, and somehow your body knows how to take all these nutrients and use them where it needs to and get rid of it. It's an incredible thing. That's what the bracha of Asher Yatzar is saying. If you learn the halachas of brachas, hilchos brachas, lechatchila, you know that you're not allowed to do anything else while you're making a bracha. Not washing your hands, drying your hands, even walking. Lechatchila, a person should stop and say a bracha with total concentration. I have found in my life personally that when I say a bracha that way, it really is much more meaningful. How much time does it take to say Asher Yatzar that way? 20 seconds? That's your investment. How long does it take to say Pokeach Ivrim in the morning with kavana, with concentration? No extra time, really. It's just a matter of effort. So that's my challenge for you, for your first step towards fulfilling the mitzvah of Shmiras HaGuf. Train yourself to appreciate your body, maybe by learning about it, about the different parts of the body, a little anatomy and physiology, or at very least, you appreciate enough, but you got to express that and think about it and contemplate it and live that way. So that your motivation for health is not just based on, oh, I want to be healthy for a long time and I want to not go to the hospital. Those are good reasons to take care of your health. You know, most hospitalizations, Chazal tell us, and infirmities, ending up in a wheelchair or worse, are preventable. Those are great motivations, you know, to avoid. Those is a motivation. But that's a long term, and we don't always live in long term. How about today? How about making today a healthy day? How about making today a day of appreciating my body? It's one day at a time, and that's the key to sustained change. That is what I think Chazal are teaching us. Until next time, be gesund.